A jolly young ploughboy was ploughing up the land, with his horses all under a green shade. Well, he whistled a gay song while his horses jogged along. All his wishes was to wed a handsome maid, a handsome maid. All his wishes was to wed a handsome maid. He finished up his song while his plough it ran along, sang for courting of this maid I am to blame. And it's when her aged father I am sure will come to know, he will send me to the wars to be slain, to be slain. He will send me to the wars to be slain. When Bessie's cruel father he came for to know that young Bessie she was courting on the plain. Well, he sent a troop of soldiers for to press her love on board, and they sent him to the wars to be slain, to be slain. And they sent him to the wars to be slain. A suit of men's clothing she instantly put on, and she lined out her pockets with bright gold. And she marched up the street while the tears rolled down her cheeks, and she marched out like any soldier bold, soldier bold. And she marched out like any soldier bold. She went to the ship where her true love he did lie. To the captain she did instantly complain, I'm a poor distressed young maid looking out for my ploughboy, and they sent him to the wars to be slain, to be slain. And they sent him to the wars to be slain. She pulled out a purse of the very beaten gold, oh, 500 bright guineas, aye, and more. And she freely laid it down all for her own ploughboy, and she rolled him in her arms to the shore, to the shore. And she rolled him in her arms to the shore. Now what's like two lovers when they do meet, they will drink and drown all sorrow and woe. They will sit and laugh and sing, and they'll cause the bells to ring, all for joy she's got the young man she adored, she adored. All for joy she got the young man she adored. Oh, young Roger the miller came courting of late to a farmer's fine daughter called beautiful Kate. She had for her fortune oh many fine things, beautiful silks and gold diamonds and rings. Her father he gave her an 8 plot of ground. She had also a fortune, she had also a fortune of £500. When the money and supper they were both laid down, well, it was a great sight to see £500. And the sight of the money and beauty likewise, it made Roger's heart greedy and dazzled his eyes. He says, now that your money and daughter is there, 'tis I will not have her, 'tis I will not have her without that grey mare. Then the money and supper were taken from sight, and the likewise young Cathy his own heart's delight. And Roger was taken and shown out the door, he was ordered not for to come there any more. 'Twas then he did tear at his long yellow hair, saying, I wish I had never spoke of that grey mare. Now it was when 6 months they were over and past that young Roger the miller he met with this lass. I think I do know you then, madam, says he. I am the same way with you, sir, said she. A man of your features with long yellow hair, he once came a-courting, my father's grey mare. Well, it was not a-courting the grey mare I came, but to you, my own jewel, my Cathy by name. I thought that your father would never dispute to give me the grey mare along with you to boot, and not to risk lose such a dutiful son. But it's now I am sorry for what I have done. For your sorrow, young Roger, I have little regard, for there's plenty fine men in this town to be had. If you forgot the grey mare, you'd be married, you see, but now you have neither the grey mare nor me. The price of that mare, it was never so great. So fare you well, Roger, you're a sorrowful case. Now young Roger's away to his desolate home, where he sighs as he sits there and sups all alone. And Cathy she sings, she is happy and gay, she has wed the young miller who works the long day. So lads, when you're courting, be always aware to court with a young maid, and not a grey mare. It's all for the love of that fair young maid that in Cabra West End reside. Myself, I lived up in Donegal, it is a 1 and a 5 ride. But there was a fly in the ointment now that you very seldom see. For although I loved her terrible well, she was in love with a Portuguese. Now he was a nasty piece of goods, Rosales was his name, and he couldn't wait for to get his hands on Concepta, who was me dame. So I made a vow by the Grand Canal that I would do him in, for I did not like them Portuguese, and in particular I didn't like him. So I followed them up to Grafton Street one evening just for fun. Around by the Mercer's Hospital is next door to the Bartley Duns. I spied them sitting in a corner seat, they were kissing and holding hands, and there he was seducing her with pints of baby shams. So I followed him up to his lodgings in Rathgar or thereabouts, and as he walked up the alleyway, sure I battered him inside out. Well, he gave out many's an oath and swear till he was dead, I'm sure. Then I lifted up the manhole lid and I dropped him down the sewer. Now when the much she heard of this, she made me life a hell, and all for the sake of peace and quiet, sure I did her in as well. And it's now I'm up before the judge to answer for me crime. He says I didn't mind the first one, son, but not the second time. Now it's all for the love of that fair young maid and her Portuguese sailor boy. For the passionate love of that fair young maid, I've landed in Mountjoy. And if ever I get out again, my life I'll change and see, and I'll marry with a mutt from Walkinstown who wouldn't look at a Portuguese. In London so fair, a rich lady she lived there, a lady of great beauty and great might. And unto this lady fair I became a servant there, and in me she took a great delight. This lady had a son to wealth and beauty born, and he became a sailor on the sea, and he courted this maiden fair, till he did her heart ensnare, and then he was bound out for the sea. She came to him one day in his cabin where he lay, and the tears from her eyes they down did flow, saying, "Young man, you're going away, far, far from me to stray, and to leave me on the shore all for to mourn." "Oh, no, no," says he, "such a thing could never be, for as long as I'm a sailor on the sea, oh, the ship that I command, it might never reach the land, if ever I prove false love unto thee." As he spoke these words, she knew that the ship with its full crew was waiting to set sail out from the quay, and she then made up her mind no more she'd stay behind, but along with him would sail across the sea. She cut off her yellow hair that hung down her back so fair, for fear that anybody would her know, and dressed like a young seaman, to the ship 'twas then she ran, and a straight way to the captain she did go. She being so neat and trim, complete in every limb, and her clothes they fitted tightly to her knee, while the crew did on her gaze, the captain to her says, "Young man, now were you ever on the sea?" "Ah, no, no," says she, "I was never on the sea, but ship me as a young sailor bold, for it's now I mean to go where the stormy winds do blow, to gather up some silver and some gold." As he gazed on her one day from his cabin where he lay, her features unto him they seemed well known. He says, "You're like a lover of mine, I think on many's the time that I left all on the shore now for to mourn." "Ah, no, no," says she, "such a thing could never be, for as long as you're a sailor on the sea, the ship that you command, it might never reach the land, if ever you prove false love unto me." His own words he knew that she spoke far from the crew, and into his arms she flew just like a dove. He says, "Do not shed a tear, you have followed me, my dear, and it's now we will get married for true love." They called for a clerk, they called for a mate, They called for a clergyman likewise, and 'twas then they both did wed, and together they do bed, and it's now they're living happy on the tide. One day out for my amusement, it being on a Thursday, the 1st of June, as the sun passed o'er the meridian, it being in the afternoon, near the dwelling of a gentleman, short time I did remain, but little I thought that I might be caught in the snares of the Sarah Jane. As I sat a forninst yon hawthorn fence, I had scarce commenced my thought, when the north wind breeze my ear did please, as distant the footsteps brought. To me she cried when passing by, and how I felt the pain. But she made me cursed, and the pain felt worse when I met with Sarah Jane. I was much surprised, and I could not rise when she gave to me her hand. In my heart I thought, hard is your lot to plough through such rough land. Though it pays not much for gathering scotch, short time I did remain. Then she bade me adieu, and from me flew, and away went to Sarah Jane. It was on that spot where I was deep in thought, I had scarce commenced my woe, when a blackbird spoke from a bower stalk, my mind he seemed to know, saying, if you could fly just the same as I, your wings and your voice you would strain, for you'd be whistling shrill on the windowsill, surmising you Sarah Jane. Now when the skylark sings, well our wings she spreads, and I commenced for to make my moan, and the landrail out from our grassy bed seemed with me to entone. Though her voice was coarse and the grating still, her notes they were sharp and plain, saying you might as well go home and sing your poem, for you'll ne'er wed with Sarah Jane. Well, if I had yonder valley and diamonds, I would leave them at her command. Or if I had Aladdin's wondrous lamp, it would shine supremely grand. Or by building castles in the air, great pleasures I might obtain. But I prefer to spend my days in happy ways, in the arms of the Sarah Jane. But now the pain it is decreasing daily, and the roving she may go. She can call at Liza Cayley's as she passes through my road. She can drink from a bottle of the best, and drink unto the poet's name. And I hope always she'll have happy days, that maid called Sarah Jane. It's by the hush, me boys, and that's to make no noise, and listen to poor Paddy's sad narration. For I was by hunger pressed, and in poverty distressed, so I took a thought to leave this Irish nation. Here's you boys, do take my advice, to America I'd have yous not be comin'. There is nothing here but war, where the modern cannons roar, and I wish I was at home in dear old Erin. So I sold my horse and plough, my little pig and cow, my father's farm of land, and then I parted with my sweetheart Biddy McGee. I'm afraid I'll ne'er more see, for I left her there in Ireland broken-hearted. Here's you boys, do take my advice, to America I'd have yous not be comin'. There is nothing here but war, where the modern cannons roar, and I wish I was at home in dear old Erin. Then myself and 100 more to America sailed o'er, our fortunes to be making we were thinking. When we landed in Yankee land, they stuck a gun into our hand, saying, Paddy, you must go and fight for Lincoln. Here's you boys, do take my advice, to America I'd have yous not be comin'. There is nothing here but war, where the modern cannons roar, and I wish I was at home in dear old Erin. General Harte has said, if you get shot or lose your head, every mother's son of you will get a pension. Now in the war I lost me leg, all I've now's a wooden peg. By my soul it is the truth to you I'll mention. Here's you boys, do take my advice, to America I'd have yous not be comin'. There is nothing here but war, where the modern cannons roar, and I wish I was at home in dear old Erin. Now I think myself in luck to be fed on Indian buck, in old Ireland, the country I delight in. And to the devil I would say, God's curse on America, for in truth I've had enough of their hard fighting. Here's you boys, do take my advice, to America I'd have yous not be comin'. There is nothing here but war, where the modern cannons roar, and I wish I was at home in dear old Erin. In Dublin's fair city, where the girls are so pretty, I first set my eyes on sweet Molly Malone, as she wheeled her wheelbarrow through the streets broad and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. Now she was a fishmonger, and sure 'twas no wonder, for her father and mother were fishmongers too, and each wheeled their wheelbarrow through the streets broad and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. Now she died of the fever, and no one could save her, and that was the end of sweet Molly Malone. But her ghost wheels her barrow through the streets broad and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. Alive, alive, oh. Alive, alive, oh. Crying cockles and Mussels, alive, alive, oh. You may talk of your outings, your picnics and parties, your dinners and dances and hoolies and all, but wait till I tell you of the gas that we had on the night that we went to the Charladies Ball. I went there as Queen Anne and I went with me man. He was dressed as a monkey locked up in a cage. There was pirates and pierrots and Hottentots and whatnots and stars that you'd see on the music hall stage. At the Charladies Ball, people said one and all, "You're the belle of the ball, Mrs. Mulligan." We had 1 steps and 2 steps and the devil knows what new steps. We swore that we never would be done again, beat that. We had wine, porter and lemonade. We had cocktails and cocoa and all. Ah, we'd champagnes that night, but we'd real pains next morning, the night that we danced at the Charladies Ball. There was cowboys and Indians that came from Drumconda, Sweet Francis Street, fairies, all diamonds and stars. There was one of the Roonies as the clock over Moonies, and a telegram boy as a message from Mars. Mary Moore from the lots was the Queen of the Scots, with a crown out of Woolworths perched up on her dome. There was young Jimmy Whitehouse, came dressed as a lighthouse, and a Camden Street garbo that should have stayed home. At the Charladies Ball, people said one and all, "You're the belle of the ball, Mrs. Mulligan." We had 1 steps and 2 steps and the devil knows what new steps. We swore that we never would be done again, beat that. We had wine, porter and Jameson. We had cocktails and cocoa and all. We had rumbos and tangos, half sets and fandangos, the night that we danced at the Charladies Ball. Mary Ellen O'Rourke was the queen of the dawn. By 1:30 she looked like a rail dirty night. Mickey Fadden, the bester, came dressed as a jester. He burst his balloon and dropped dead with the fright. Kevin Barr came as Boverdale stops that sinking feeling, astride of a bottle, pyjamas and all. But he bumped into Faust, who was gloriously soused, and the two of them were sunk at the end of the hall. At the Charladies Ball, people said one and all, "You're the belle of the ball, Mrs. Mulligan." We had 1 steps and 2 steps and the devil knows what new steps. We swore that we never would be done again, beat that. We had wine, porter and Jameson. We had cocktails and cocoa and all. We'd a real stand-up fight, but we fell down to supper the night that we danced at the Charladies Ball. A wealthy squire lived in our town. He was a man of high renown. Well, he had 1 daughter, a beauty bright, and the name he called her was his heart's delight. Now many young men for to court her came, but none of them could her favour gain, till there came a lad of a low degree, and above them all she did a fancy he. But when her father he came to know that his daughter loved this young man so, Over 50 miles he sent her away, all to deprive them of their wedding day. One night as she lay in her bedroom, our love he appeared from out of the gloom. Well, he touched her hand and to her did say, "Arise, my darling, and come away." With her true love she got on behind, and they rode swifter than any wind. Well, they rode all along for an hour or more, till he cried, "My darling, my head feels sore." A Holland handkerchief she then took out, and with it she wrapped his aching head about. She kissed his lips and to him did say, "My love, you are colder than any clay." They rode till they came to her father's gate. He said, "Get down, love, for 'tis getting late. Get down, and go into bed, and I'll see that your horse is both groomed and fed." And when she knocked at her father's hall, "Who's there, who's there?" her own father did call. "'Tis I, dearest father, did you send for me by such a messenger and naming he?" "Oh no, dear daughter, that cannot be. Your words are false and you lie to me. For on yon far mountain your true love died, and in yon green meadow his body lies." Well, the truth it did dawn on this maiden brave, and with her friend she exposed the grave, where lay her true love full 9 months dead, with a Holland handkerchief around his hand. Woe to all parents, as I say still, who deprive true lovers of their own sweet will. For once their promises and vows they give, they can ne'er recall them back whilst they live. Willie Taylor was a lover, full of love and loyalty, till in his mind he didn't discover unto a handsome lady gay. She dressed herself up like a sailor, on her breast she wore a star. Her beauteous fingers, so small and slender, all got smeared with the pitch and tar. Now on that vessel there being a scrimmage, she being one amongst the best, when a silver buckle it flew off her jacket, there appeared her snow-white breast. Now send the captain unto this lady, what a misfortune has brought you here? Oh, 'tis I'm in search of my true lover, whom you pressed the other year. If you're in the search of your true lover, pray then tell to me his name. Oh, indeed, kind sir, it is Willie Taylor, I'm sure right well that you know the same. If Willie Taylor be your true lover, deed right well I know the same. For he shipped on board as a dry land sailor, stayed behind upon the Isle of Grain. But rise up early tomorrow morning, early by the break of day, and 'tis there you'll see your Willie Taylor walking out with his lady gay. She rose up early the next morning, early by the break of day, and 'twas there she saw her Willie Taylor walking out with his lady gay. Good morrow to you, Willie Taylor, what misfortune has brought you here? Or have you heard from your love, Nancy, whom you left the other year? Oh, what care I for my love, Nancy, what care I for her or you? For as my faded strings grow older, I'll buy fresh silk for to make them new. Then she ordered a sword and a pistol, sword and pistol at her command, and there she shot her Willie Taylor and the lady at his right hand. The captain he ordered a recommendation for the deed that she had done, and he made her a chief and a head commander of the ship called the Lucy Ann. Now she is married to the captain, she has servants at her command, and she cares no more for her Willie Taylor nor for any other man. Oh, I wonder what is keeping my true love tonight. I wonder what is keeping her out of my sight. It is little she knows of the pain I endure, or she would not stay from me this night, I am sure. Oh, love, are you coming your cause to advance? Or, love, are you waiting for a far better chance? Or have you got a sweetheart laid by you in store, and you are coming to tell me that you love me no more? Oh, love, I'm not coming my cause to advance. Or, love, I'm not waiting for a far better chance, but I have a sweetheart laid by me in store, and I am coming to tell you that I love you no more. Oh, 'tis I can love lightly, and I can love long, and 'tis I can love the old love till the new love comes on. I just said I loved you for to set your mind at ease, and when you are far from me, I will love whom I please. Well, I have gold in my pocket, and I've love in my heart, but I can't love a maiden who has got two sweethearts. Your love lies as lightly as the dew upon the thorn that comes down in the evening, goes away in the morn. Green grass it grows bonny, spring water runs clear. I am weary and lonesome for the love of my dear. You were my first and false true love, but 'tis lately I knew that the fonder I loved you, well, the falser you grew. So come all of you young men, take a warning by me, and it's don't build your nest on the top of a tree, for the leaves they will wither and the branches decay, and like a false-hearted young maid, they will soon fade away. You lovers all, both great and small, that dwell in Ireland, I pray you pay attention whilst I my pen command. Oh, it was my father's anger what drove my love away, but I still have hopes we'll meet again in North America. My love was fair and handsome, to him I gave my hand, and a little was our notion that we would ever part. It was in my father's garden that this flower it did decay, but I still have hopes 'twill bloom again in North America. I did not want for money, kind fortune on me shone. Out from my father's castle I stole £500. It was in the town of Belfast, my passage I did pay. My mind made up to follow my love into North America. Now the captain's wife was kind to me, as you may understand, and she kept me in her cabin until we reached dry land. It was in the town of Quebec that we landed on the quay, and I knew not where to find my love in all America. But I, being sick and sore and tired, I went into an inn, and 'twas there I saw my William, the lad I love within. I took him gently by the hand, and to him I did say, I never thought to see your face in all America. So now this couple have got wed, as you may understand, and I hear they live quite happy in the town they call St. John. And the money that she took from home in gold, she paid it down, and she thinks no more on Ireland nor Enniskillen town. Oh, here I am from Donegal, I feel quite discontented, for to see the way that we're run down, not highly represented. For to see it is a general rule to make out Pat a knave or fool, but never mind, he'll play it cool and stand up for old Ireland. Do me justice, treat me fair, and I won't be discontented, but I won't be laughed at anywhere, but highly represented. Now Mr. Punch with his literature, he treats us very badly, and when he draws our caricature, he depicts us rather sadly. With crooked limbs and villainous face, he thus depicts the Irish race. We think it is a sad disgrace, and we say so in old Ireland. Do me justice, treat me fair, and I won't be discontented, and I won't be laughed at anywhere, but highly represented. When on the stage I do appear, with a thundering big shillelagh, with a ragged coat and a tattered hat, you think I come out gaily. With not a word of common sense, they don't know when they give offence, but carry on at Pat's expense. Why don't they come to Ireland? Do me justice, treat me fair, and I won't be discontented, and I won't be laughed at anywhere, but highly represented. They say we are dirty and lazy got, but where's the use to grumble? And if they visit an Irish cot, they're made welcome, though 'tis humble. But in public works the country round, or where hard work it is to be found, in the railway tunnels underground, you'll find the boys from Ireland. Do me justice, treat me fair, and I won't be discontented, and I won't be laughed at anywhere, but highly represented. 'Tis very true I like a glass, it makes me feel quite frisky. I am very fond of an Irish lass, but I'm partial to the whiskey. I am very quiet when left alone, but I do what I like with what's my own. And woe be to the foes of home who would dare run down old Ireland. Do me justice, treat me fair, and I won't be discontented, and I won't be laughed at anywhere, but highly represented.